Welcome to the Miracles and Wellness Podcast. I'm Clarissa Booker, your holistic health coach and beauty expert. I know how stress can derail your well-being as an entrepreneur. I'll be sharing simple strategies to reduce stress, ditch stress eating, and replace other habits while energizing your day by incorporating more plants onto your plate. With small shifts that can boost your health, happiness, and productivity. Whether you're seeking guidance with weight loss, stress release, or just a moment to recharge, I invite you to join me. Let's optimize your wellness path. So be open to receive because I believe that miracles are for everyone. Let's go. Hey there, friend. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So can you believe it? The holidays are literally around the corner. I feel like after Halloween, it is gone. It's full speed ahead. And then after that, we have another year. It is what it is. Embrace it, right? But besides that, the holidays can stress you out. So on top of the regular stressors that we have throughout our day that can cause us an array of emotions, the holidays are there too to heighten that. So what we don't want to do is put our mental health on the back burner, right? Don't want to overlook it. We want to bring it to the forefront. Because what happens? People glorify the hustle and the grind and going out there and not stopping. I'm going to hustle and I don't need to sleep. All of these things you hear, right? But we know in the long run that it's not healthy, that it's not good for us. That's not good for our physical health. It's not good for our mental health. It's all connected, right? And then on top of that, there's a study where it says 72% are directly or indirectly affected by mental health. Talking about entrepreneurs, right? And 48% are non-entrepreneurs. That's a big difference, right? So where we're calling ourselves leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, there's a lot on the plate, right? Anything can happen. We know that failure is a part of it, but you think about all these ups and downs because that's just the reality of the situation. There's going to be ups and downs. Anything can happen at any given time. And you have to be able to pivot like that, be like, boom, and something else has to change. And this can really take a toll on you mentally when you think about it because we are just human and it is what it is. So on this token, we need to pay attention to that, right? The mental health, because then what happens? There's burnout, anxiety, insomnia, depression. The list can go on. We need to talk about it more. This has to happen because there are honestly a lot of people that are struggling silently. And then that can also contribute to other habits that we pick up, right? Because you don't know how to deal with it. Then you might start reaching for the food, right? Or whatever other habit that is. So that's why it doesn't do anybody any good to only focus on strength training. Ladies, strength train because muscle is sexy. But it's more than just that. There's a nutrition piece also. But if you don't work on the inside, right, you can be like, okay, well, I know I need to eat this. And I know I need to do that in the gym. Or whatever kind of movement I'm going to do. But if internally we don't focus on that, then nothing else is going to happen, right? Because it's just going to keep being a cycle, right? Because let's say you are feeling super stressed out or your depression is creeping in. You might eat too much. You might not eat it at all, right? And then on top of that, don't overly restrict your calories, please. That's a whole nother topic because you need food in order to survive. You need calories, you need nutrients in your body. But besides that, look at the quality of the food that you're eating. That's more important, right? Is the food I'm eating nutrient dense? Okay. So if you are not feeling your best in this moment, say you're super stressed out, right? You're feeling anxious, all of these things, you might just wind up eating too much food. But besides that, we don't want to link being driven with depression or another mental state. So we want to take care of ourselves. Because it can be challenging, but it's so rewarding, right? Because you are called. If you are doing this kind of work, you are called to do it because you are serving people. Whatever that gift is that you are giving out there, you are meant to do it. Do you feel passionate about it? I mean, if you're just doing it because you think you're going to have all this success, it's not that easy, right? It's a journey. So if you are in it and you're doing it and you've been doing it, you're called to do this. But you need to take care of yourself in the process, right? Because it can affect anyone, right? Burnout doesn't define your character or your ability to be successful. And in fact, you will go further when you take care of yourself. You'll have more productivity when you're actually taking care of yourself instead of you're just lagging around and you're just out of it, right? Just like in the PATH framework that we talk about in BWA, Balanced Wellbeing Academy. One of the pillars is amplifying self-care because it's extremely important and we have a tendency to neglect ourselves, right? We do, and we cannot do that any longer, period. How much time do you take to disconnect in your day from working? And are your boundaries in place, right? Your emotional boundaries, are they in place as well? Give yourself permission to detach, right? Especially if you feel your stress levels are on high alert, okay? Give yourself that permission. Don't be like, I gotta grind this out. I gotta make this happen. No, sis, you need to fall back. You need to relax for a little bit. It's okay. It is all right to do that. And your body will thank you. You have to allow yourself that and listen to yourself. Listen to your body. Listen to what your spirit is trying to tell you. Because it never just happens overnight. Whatever it is that happens in our health, there's always been a trickle effect up to that point. Am I right? They're always going to be. You don't just wake up and you're just magically sick. There were things, there were signs, there were symptoms, there were things that were happening in your day to day that you just put on the back burner, right? Like whatever it is, you mean like, man, where's this migraine coming from? And you just kind of ignore it. You pop in some pain medicine and you just ignoring it because you're like, I got to push through. Instead of allowing yourself that moment to figure out what is the underlying cause in that, right? It could be a number of things. For example, is it stress? Is it inflammation? But just taking a moment to check in with yourself will certainly help you. Like even when we talk about movement, it doesn't cure everything. Sometimes you still need to talk to somebody. Do you have somebody that is compassionate, that you trust, that you could talk to? And if you don't, you could talk to a coach. I'm a coach. There's also therapists you could talk to, but just knowing that there's another outlet so that you're not holding everything inside. All right. Very important. And also, are you giving yourself enough rest? Right? Do not fault on the rest. Sleep is super important. I mean, honestly, it is very hard to survive off less than 6 hours of sleep. You're going to feel sleep deprived, and that is going to catch up with you. Even if you feel like you can handle it right now, it's going to get you. All right. It's going to come for you and it's going to get you in the long run. I mean, try to at least aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep, right? And then before you go to bed, put your phone away. Try putting it in another room, right? So the electronics are out of the way. The distraction is not there to just kind of hop on it. And replace that with a meditation. Try a soothing meditation to help you fall asleep and then journal out everything. So if you have a lot in your mind, talk to God, asking him to guide you, do your meditation and journal it out. It will help process. It'll help process whatever's going on in your mind. Getting it out onto paper, right? Just letting yourself free write. Let whatever wants to come out, come out. Write sloppy, do whatever it is. Don't judge yourself. Just let it all come out. Sometimes you'll be surprised at what releases, right? Just allow it to come. Maybe you're in a more settled state right now that it allows it to flow, right? There might be some emotions that come out you didn't know were there. And you know what? In the end, you're going to feel a nice release just allowing it. But look, there is a difference between acute stress that can be motivating, but that's short. That can be the response to a short-term pressure, okay? But if it keeps going on and it's prolonged, that can turn to chronic stress. That's a whole different animal. Okay, so when people be like, stress is good, there's a magnitude to the amount of stress that's okay. You need to be able to release it. But if it's still lingering on, that chronic stress is going to turn to burnout. All right, guys, you have to have enough downtime to recover. You can't be in go mode like all the time. And a lot of times this is what's normalized, and people are just like, I got to go. And they're just like working like all the hours and doing all the things. There has to be an off button. Right? Normalize that. Normalize the mental health. Normalize there being an off button to sit back and relax and to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself, right? I cannot stress this enough because at the end of the day, it's going to affect your heart, right? And isn't that important? It surely is. Yes. So this is a priority. Because it can creep up on you over time. And then you're going to be like, well, what happened? Well, all the little things you were neglecting happened, right? when you felt tired and you pushed through 5 days in a row, 10 days in a row, when you didn't sleep, when you weren't taking care of yourself, all of these things. Don't judge yourself. I'm just telling you what it is, right? And if this resonates with you, it's okay. Just become aware of it and do the next step, making some changes. And sometimes, it sounds easier said than done. And it's okay to have assistance, right? This is why there's people like me here. That's why there's other people out there too. And if it resonates with you, I can also help you. Come find me. My information is down in the show notes. I am there for you. Find that outlet. Find somebody to assist you. Find somebody to keep you accountable. All of these things. Because a lot of things that we know we should be doing, but we're not doing it. And you need that extra assistance. You need that extra guidance, that extra person or people, whatever that is for you to help get you there. You know you better, right? Nobody knows you more than what you know yourself. Is this true? Mm-hmm. Do you ever feel yourself emotionally exhausted? Do you feel detached? Feel like a breaking point is coming? Any of this stuff? Also, there's other questions that you could ask yourself. These are just a couple just to start with. And if you feel this, just know that stress might be a constant for you, right? And it's just time for you to make some adjustments in your life. It's okay. It's just time. And you need to be aware of that. Prioritize self-care, right? Set boundaries. There's different kinds of boundaries. Emotional boundaries. And if you start saying no and start having boundaries in place and you feel guilty about it, that's good. Okay, let me tell you. This means that you're going to be breaking patterns. Stick to it. Don't falter. Don't falter. This is good. It's just holding on to your power, taking your power back. You will feel good, protecting your energy, right? Just think about having a cloak on, right? You have this beautiful magical cloak on, and it's protecting your energy, your glowing, radiating energy, that power that you have within you that is glowing. You got to protect it. And sometimes this is going to mean executing those boundaries, period. I'm on the period thing today, I guess is what's happening here. But this is just how I'm feeling. So if and when you set these limits, you are going to have more emotional resources available to you. And this will have you more able to take care of yourself. Okay? And this is important because honestly, look, if you can't take care of yourself, it's hard for you to take care of others, right? Because if you're depleted, it's that much more harder for you to take care of your family and to be there for your family. Sis, do you hear me? Listen, if you are burnt out and you're not taking care of yourself, you might be more snappy. It is what it is. And it's just harder for you to be fully present. You're hanging on, right? You're exhausted, and then you might need to catch up on your sleep, as you should. You have less energy. And it'll be just a lot of like a domino events that's going to happen. So we have to have these boundaries. So pay attention to how you feel, right? So like, even if you are picking up vibes from another person, someone else, pay attention to that. If you feel the need to not be around that person, do it, right? Just do it, because you have to take care of you. Something's telling you to not be in that person's presence, and that's okay. Don't feel bad about it. Just say no, you can't make it. It is what it is. You just don't need to be there. And then on top of that, giving yourself self-compassion above all else, right? Giving yourself that self-compassion, those emotional boundaries. Process whatever is going on without any self-criticism. Talk to yourself like you would somebody that you love, right? You need to give yourself that same attention. You really do. So I've had to work on boundaries within myself as well over the years. I've done a lot of work on this chick here, okay? Constantly. And also whenever I work with other amazing individuals, because it's so needed. And I also want to help you as well. You can go to the link in the show notes and apply for BWA. Until next time.
Goodbye, guys. Thank you for listening to my mom's podcast. Leave a 5-star review.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode and are feeling empowered in your journey towards a thriving well-being. Also, share this episode to someone you know this will bless, as that's how we spread the message. And don't forget just to take 30 seconds to leave a written review on Apple Podcasts by scrolling down the show page and clicking write a review because it also helps us grow. I appreciate you taking the time to show us support.